Hey, it's Kim Meltzer and the Esports Mom podcast, and I am excited for round two. I have Mercanthony here and have had the privilege to meet him along my journey. And I have to say that he is one of the few people, of the many people that I've met, who's impacted me in a really cool way. And I'm so ready to take on the next hour or so to be able to talk about the world of Mercanthony and all that is going on. So thanks, sir, for giving me the privilege. You have no idea how excited I am right now. I could say that 7 more times, but it's true. This is
Yeah,
awesome.
no, I mean, hey, of course, I got to do it for Esports Mom. You're the best. I love seeing you at all the events. You always bring the good energy.
Right? And you even got a signature on your, I think it was a jacket,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, I have a jacket. You have like the heart and it says Esports Mom on it. I never
Next,
wash that jacket, so it never comes off.
I'm just going to get you a tattoo next. I mean, come on, let's do it right. I'm telling
Okay,
you,
okay, okay.
right? I mean, when I make
Welcome
it
to the
big
Salty
someday.
Splatoon. How tough are you? And I just got
Yeah.
Esports Mom in the heart.
That's right. That's the way it's supposed to be. That's right. Oh my gosh. Wow. So, man, I met you a couple years ago, right? Has it been a couple years? It feels like it's been 10, but it's only been
Yeah,
a
it's
couple years.
definitely been at least like 3 or 4.
Yeah, because you were just kind of becoming this cool content creator. You were trying to figure out what direction you wanted to go. And I think what struck me, obviously, the orange hair is a no brainer, but the personality behind it, you just walked in a room and you just take over the room. Doesn't matter who's there, doesn't matter what the competition is, you just show up and everybody knows. And I think the most fun was the way you do content creation, because when I step back and I look at so many different people, you always make it fun. You're always there to entertain and commit to the fact that there's something that you want to share, and it's always has to be some kind of an entertainment, because you're there to make it worthwhile to the consumer, and I think, or the follower watching. And I don't know what possessed you to start. I'm kind of curious. I never sat down with you to ask these questions. So what made you get into content creation? What did you just wake up one day and you're like, this is what I want to do?
Well, kind of, but a little different. So, my story is super unique as opposed to the majority of content creators, especially people that are just getting into this now. Because I started 13 years ago,
What were
May
you,
18th,
two?
May 18th, yeah, literally. May 18th, 2011. I have this date on my wrist where I put up my first YouTube video. I was 10 years old
Wow.
on an iPod Touch back in the good old days, because that's all we had. But I got an iPod Touch for my 10th birthday, and for some reason, I guess because I watched my grandfather always recording, hey, say Merry Christmas, oh, whatever, coming around with the VHS camera or whatever the old camera was back then, just recording every family outing or just memories, and I just kind of picked that up, and I loved recording things or taking pictures and being able to show my friends at school or whatever it was. So I ran out of storage very quickly, considering there was only 8 gigabytes on the iPod Touch. So what did
Right?
I do? Unlimited storage device, YouTube.
And it began from there. So what was your first one? Do you remember what your first
So
creation
I
was?
had this app called Robbie the Robot, where you could tap on it and he did different things depending on where you tapped on it. But I had a sequence of events that I really liked, but I didn't want to remember it and have to keep doing it over and over again in front of people to show people. Again, I was 10 years old, but I literally, it let you record it in the app, but it didn't let you save it to gallery, so I had to upload it to YouTube or some other random platform. And at this point, I only know YouTube as a funny cat video website, and make an account. And literally at 10 years old, I posted 300 something videos from that
Wow.
iPod Touch.
Holy cow. That's crazy. And so did you do a lot of it with your friends, or was it more just you goofing around?
It was everything.
Everything.
Everything. Me by myself playing with toys in my room, me with my friends hanging out, me with family playing video games, anything and everything that I was doing. I saw a snake outside and I was like, whoa, that's cool. Everything.
That's crazy. Do you know how many followers you had at that point?
Oh, nothing.
Yeah.
Nothing. After the 300 something videos, I had 18 subs.
There you go. But it was a start at 10 years old, for crying out loud. Nobody
Oh
even
yeah, for
realized.
sure.
You
For
know what I
sure.
mean? Well, I think about 2011, I was working on Call of Duty XP, Call of Duty,
Bro!
you know? So it's weird because nobody, I mean, you had press. I'll be honest, I'm going to give you background on the day. I swear to you, I'm so overwhelmed at how much time has flown when you say 2011. So we were working with Call of
I
Duty
was
Black
watching COD XP.
Were
I
you?
was like wishing I could be there back then. I
I,
remember
I had
that.
known you, dude. I'd have gotten you a pass. Like, not even
At 10 years old.
yeah, come on. I mean, yeah, that's true. You were too young. You had to be 18. That kind of
Yeah.
sucks, but that's a different story. Um, but I just remember doing our launches, right, for the COD series. And I remember when it was just Real Press, USA Today, and like all of that. And then one day they told us that we had to do the YouTube side of it.
Yep.
And we had to set up the lands to be able to account for those that were doing YouTube against just like the press. And I remember the press being so mad. Like, those guys aren't journalists. Like, I just remember like it was yesterday. And you look at it now and it's like, it
Yep.
just completely flipped to where it's like, how is it not YouTube or Twitch or anything doing content creation? So can't even fathom like how long ago that was when you were starting it. So how many followers do you have now? Like, where are you at?
I don't know. I mean, 100 cumulatively, like I don't know, like 250K, something like
Okay.
that.
So-
But like, and also just to like bring this up really quickly, besides doing the YouTube stuff back when I was 10, at like 10 or 11, I made a Justin TV account and started streaming. And since then, I've streamed 4,500 hours of my life on Twitch, which is almost half a year, and I've made over 2,500 videos total, short form and long form. I just downloaded like all of my TikToks because obviously we're scared about what's going on right now.
Right.
And I just downloaded 2,330 TikToks from my TikTok account. Like, it's crazy how much content I have made in the 13 years I've done this, but it has been an insane journey.
Do you have any one or two in particular that you remember that really make you think and smile or laugh when you think about it?
I'm weird. I like to watch my old videos, but it's also because I made these videos as a means of like capturing my memories and keeping them forever and being able to show them to my friends or maybe even my future kids, right? Like, I want my kids to be able to watch me as a kid playing with toys, growing up, going to high school, going to prom, graduating, and then living the rest of my life. Like, I have all of this on camera, and like, I really want to be able to share this with my future kids and anybody else who wants to see it. I mean,
Yeah, well, that just puts it back to your grandfather, though. How cool is it that, is he alive or is he passed on?
No. Yeah,
Passed
he's
on?
passed.
So he's watching upstairs. But what a legacy, dude. Like, he actually gave you your career and you didn't even know it. Right? I mean, seriously.
If you really think about it, yeah.
You know?
And the fact that like so many people thought it was so stupid for you to record yourself and put it on the internet. I used to make fun of like every day at school. What are you doing? Why are you making videos of yourself and putting it on the internet? That's so weird. You're so weird. That's so stupid. And then high school comes around and like near like the end of high school is when it like really became cool. And everyone's just like, oh, hey, so like, could we make a video together? Oh, could we play Call of Duty, bro? Like, oh, hey,
Right?
could you have that guy sign the Shaker Cup for me? Like, oh, I'm a big fan of him. And I'm just like hanging out with all these people as like inspirations. But like, it was sticking to it.
Totally.
Through all of the hate, through all of the teachers, the people, even family members that didn't believe in it originally, that were like, okay, like, you're gonna grow out of this, think about college, think about doing something else. But I just knew that this is what I loved, and nobody was gonna stop me from doing what I loved.
Yeah, understatement. And gosh, when I remember connecting with you, and I don't even think it was at CES, but it was prior to that, I will never
Esports
forget.
Awards?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
It was back then, but it was so funny because you were doing your G Fuel challenge and you were having G Fuel every day and you had that goal to be able to get your own can and you were relentless. And I remember the discipline when we talked about that. And I was like, are you crazy? Like, what are you doing? And it was like, I'm determined to get that can and nothing stopped you. You had a discipline I have never seen in anybody before. And I think that was probably the most, I would say, inspirational. So how many, I don't even know, when did you start the G Fuel campaign? God, it was a long time ago. Feels like a year ago?
Well, I found out about G Fuel through FaZe Clan back in like 2015, and like they were like my favorite creators back then, like especially creating the first ever content house, and FaZe Rain being the first person to ever get his own G Fuel flavor, he was my like favorite at the time. And to see him do that, I was like, oh my god, this is amazing. A creator getting their own energy drink named after them? What? Hello? Amazing. So eventually, I tried the product out and I love it. I love the taste. I love the way it made me feel. And then, years go by and I'm like begging them for a sponsorship at every event. I'm that annoying kid going to their booth. Hey, so like, can you give me a coupon code? Like, but obviously that didn't work for a while until eventually it did. And I had one of the partnership managers come into my stream. They're like, oh, hey, you don't have the numbers we usually look for, but you obviously love our product and you promote it in unique ways. And like, we'd love to give you a shot and work with you. We started working together. I absolutely killed it in sales in the first month. They were like, oh my God, let's sign you for a year. And then now I've been signed with them for, I don't know, 5, 6 something years. And a lot of people think that I did the series where I drank G Fuel every day until I got my own flavor as a means of getting sponsored, but I had already been working with them contractually for many years. However, I did not warn them about this series, nor did I work with them on this series. I literally just threw it on them. Like, I just uploaded it, and then they saw it. And
wow.
Over time, I ended up having 365 videos in that series every single day before 12 a.m. I had to make a new, exciting, better than the last few hundred video. Like, every day outdoing myself, a new location, a new person, a new skit, a new idea, better execution, whatever it is, and continue to do that before 12 every single day. And whatever was the most important or coolest part of that day needed to be set aside for that content. So if I was going to a concert at 10 p.m., that meant that's the coolest thing I'm doing in the day. I need to have a script ready for 10, so that as soon as I walk into that concert, I film the whole thing, edit the whole thing on my phone while at the concert, and upload it before 12. I did this every single day.
Yeah, and you did it for a long time, like every day. I mean, I watched you. I was one of those crazy fans that just wanted to see how far you were going to go. And you had me totally riveted to figure it out. And then when I saw you in person and you right on it, like nothing stopped you from the day. You had it planned and there you executed it right on track. And you would always implement anything that was around you, which I thought was so brilliant because it wasn't just the activation of the G Fuel can. It was everything you were doing. And you guys were everywhere and you still are. There, I don't think you sit still for 5 minutes. So
No,
this is probably the longest you've sat in one space for a period of time. But for that, I'm grateful. But I mean, God, that was crazy. And even when I met you at the Esports Awards and then ultimately at CES and we were dealing with all the rolling stuff and you came in with the rolling gear and it was just as bright as you were. And it just like, you just incorporated everything. I don't think there's a day I've ever met you where you're boring. That is one thing I give you a lot of kudos for, man. You just like fill the room no matter where you're at.
It's I try to. I try to bring energy, light, positivity to everybody everywhere I go. I feel like we have one life to live. We might as well enjoy it and love each other and make the world a better place. Yeah, by working together and growing together and making awesome stuff. So yeah, I just always love to bring that energy wherever I go.
Well, then we have to kind of then like go to the next phase of your crazy journey and keeping it within the realm of being able to talk about it. Beast Games. I have to know, in humor and seriousness, what in the hell were you thinking? Like, what did you do when you saw that and you're like, I have to do this? Like, tell me, what was your first thought? And then what was the philosophy behind being a contestant? Like, why did you do it?
So I got an email, right? Just a random email. I had never applied to a MrBeast video or like anything in the past. So I don't know how they found me. I don't know if it was because I was in Vegas and, obviously we started filming in Vegas at Allegiant Stadium. So maybe that was why, but regardless, I get an email, urgent casting call, and obviously I thought it was a scam. Like, I compete for $5 million for MrBeast in like the title of the email. I'm like, this definitely has to be a scam. But then I go forward and I'm like, oh, this is sent by Mystic Art Pictures. Let me look this up. Oh, these people made all these shows and they're working on Beast Games. Oh, so this is real. Okay. I have to go all out because I got to set myself apart. I got to stand out. I got to make sure that I get picked and that I don't lose this opportunity. So I spent an entire day scripting, storyboarding, planning out this video. Now, to audition. And the audition could only be max a minute.
Yeah, your minute is like, there's a lot going on in that minute, I'm sure.
I submitted 29 seconds. At 5 different locations.
Holy cow.
I said my name while on a zipline. And I'm 23! Like, bro, I went all out. making that audition video the best thing I could have possibly done. And then submitted it, and within a few minutes got a call, hey, how long is your passport to? Oh, perfect. And then like probably like a month later, I get an email saying I'm a standby competitor that says like, okay, you know, if somebody doesn't show up or somebody gets disqualified early, we're gonna sub you in.
Oh wow.
So I wasn't 100% a contestant, right? But I finally make it through. I get to Allegiant Stadium, and I'm a contestant. It was interesting because I remember while I was at the Rio, because we started at we had the call time was at the Rio originally, and then we took buses over to Allegiant, and like while I was in that room with the standbys, hundreds of standbys, this woman walks into the room, looks straight at me, and is like, "You're not supposed to be here." So I don't know if I was supposed to be a standby or not, but regardless, I still made it on, and we had like a cool little alliance going on with all the people in the last bus, because we were like the 2%ers. We were the last 2% to make it through to the show, so we had like a cool little alliance with those people.
That's crazy. And so you knew then that you had a chance, but when did you find out that you were actually gonna like be on? Because you were $8.99. I remember that. I'll never
No,
forget the number.
Well, I knew that I was going to be at least in a MrBeast video
Okay.
the moment that I entered Allegiant Stadium. And that because like Beast Games is technically the Prime Video show, so
Right.
like I still had to earn my way into the real show. Regardless, I was stoked to be in a MrBeast video. I've loved his content for a long time. Of course, the man is an absolute legend, and to be a part of a project like that, insane. So I had to compete in Vegas through 4 different challenges, and we could totally talk about the YouTube video stuff for sure. We just don't want to spoil too much about
No, we're not gonna
episode
ruin
1
it.
or anything going forward in the Beast Games. You guys got to check out Beast Games on Prime Video. We're not going to spoil anything too crazy, but I do got to tell you about the crazy stuff I went through in Vegas.
Yeah. I can't believe you had the pre-qualify. So for somebody like me who has no idea, like I think what the coolest thing is, not only did you attempt to get in, but you had to go through so many hoops before you even became a contestant. Like I had no idea that there was that much competition, that he was really weaning out it's almost like I want to say Darwinism. It was like, you know, the stronger are going to make it and the weaker are going to fail. Like he had it set up for multiple faceted requirements. And I mean, production alone is a lot of work, but that is a level that I don't think anybody knew that he could produce. Although, I mean, MrBeast is MrBeast. That's why he's number one. But that's crazy that you had to go through all of that to just
There's so
even
many
think
people.
about qualification.
You got to imagine they flew out thousands of people for this.
Yeah.
People from all around the world. Like, I met people from Uruguay, from like Brazil, from like random countries all over the place. Like, and I thought they were just gonna bring people from America because it would be cheaper or easier. But no, they spared no expense making this like a global thing.
Totally. Well, and that's kind of what's funny about not just entertainment. And then you laugh about video games because we're pretty global, but that is entertainment. Like, that's everything combined, right? I mean, not everybody's an athlete, not everybody's a scholar. Some people are really creative, some people are very academic. Like, you've got everybody. It's an equal opportunity to be able to fight for that prize, to which, I mean, I had to laugh when I saw it because I knew, just as somebody who's older, I was like, there is only one person who's going to win that. And that's if they make it. He could totally say you didn't make it and walk away with the 5 million on his own.
They told us so many times. They tried to reiterate it to everybody so many times. You are not going to win, or at least you are most likely not going to win. So please do not get your hopes up. We want everybody to have an amazing experience, but there is one winner of the $5 million, and there's 2,000 of you here. Like,
wow.
Set your expectations somewhere.
Lightning, right?
What?
I said you might as well get struck by lightning. I mean, at this point, like, that's crazy. So you said something to me off the record that I think was really cool, and that was, you said for you, the money's obviously awesome. Like, we both know that winning anything is cool, but like you said, your philosophy was different in how you went into it. Like, tell me more about kind of your perspective of why you did it.
Oh, yeah, no. I'm so different than so many of the competitors. Like, I remember being on that football field with all those 2,000 contestants and talking to everybody that I could. Of course, for many reasons, you want to make alliances and you want to meet people and all that stuff. But also, I was just genuinely interested to see like where people were at, why they were here, what they wanted, and a lot of people were there strictly for money, like strictly for money. And I did not want money at all. I actually specifically did not want to win money because in my mind, I think if I win $5 million in Beast games, there's no chance I'm going to be brought back for another amazing MrBeast video. And like for me, it's about the experiences. Because like I feel like I have the rest of my life. I'm super young. I'm 23. I have plenty of time to make $5 million or whatever amount of money I want to make. But I have one opportunity to be in the biggest reality game show of all time. And I feel like a lot of people didn't really think about it like that. It was just like money, money, money. And it's like, no, this is something that only happens once.
Right.
The first ever Beast games. Like, we were a part of history.
Oh, for sure.
So many world records were broken. Like, and to recreate that experience would cost millions upon millions of dollars.
Oh,
so
yeah.
it's just, I wouldn't replace the experience for the world. And I absolutely loved every moment of it.
That's so cool. That just, it's mind blowing. And I really commend you for that because I think even at your age, you know, most, like you said, most people are looking at it as like almost like a reality show where it's like, well, how much can I make? And forget that you have to experience it because that's what you get to talk about, like what we're doing here. Regardless of whether you won or lost, it didn't matter to me. It was the fact that you took that leap of faith to even just try. And I can't imagine the people you met. Like I can only fathom the stories behind that. I hope that if anything they do with Beast Games after it's all done is that they can highlight not just the winner. God knows that whoever wins this is going to have like needing a vacation, you know, after what they probably went through. But to be able to highlight the stories of these contestants, like that alone would like blow people away, you know?
Oh yeah.
What
Oh
they
yeah.
went through. I can't even fathom how tired, like from your just little pre-qualification, how tired were you at the end of the day?
Oh man. I mean, well, okay, so the qualifiers was actually a 4-day filming process. We were in that stadium sleeping on the floor for 3 nights in sleeping bags. I have the sleeping bag behind me.
Oh,
That's,
no way.
That's the sleeping bag right there.
Wow.
And it was very comfy to be honest. I had absolutely no issues sleeping in that sleeping bag. But
yeah, because you were at my age trying to do it. Thanks for playing, buddy. That's great. So, wow, 4 days?
Yep. So it was like, it was, yeah, it was 4 days of filming, and like, we could only film at night because the lighting conditions are controllable at night.
Right.
So, you know, throughout the day, we're basically just like talking to each other. Some people were like working out, like some people were playing red light, green light, trying to practice. Some people were playing around with water bottles and filling their socks with like the stuff that was on the field to like make balls, to throw it into boxes, to like have something to do. Because we didn't have a phone. We didn't know what time it was for the entire 4 days.
Wow.
Not a clue like what time it was for 4 straight days. No phone, no access to contact the outside world. It was such a surreal experience that like you don't usually get to experience.
No, not that at all. I can't even fathom because especially you having your technology with you at all times and having to remember this in your head and not on something that was recorded had to have been like hilarious.
Oh
Like,
yeah.
you know?
Oh yeah.
Have you kept in touch with anybody since?
So many. Hundreds of people.
Have they been following
Literally.
you?
Oh yeah, for sure. And we've done a bunch of like meetups as well. Like we did have like the Beast Games premiere, which was really cool to like see everybody again. But definitely we've had a bunch of events thrown by contestants, whether it's like watch parties or whatever it is, just to like bring everybody together again. Some of us have been making like YouTube video challenges together, which has been super sick. But yeah, we've made a lot of really long-term friendships from spending all that time together, going through those challenges together, being in those unique circumstances. It helps you bond much faster with people.
Totally. And I know episode 1, I got to watch it. And I have to tell you, my heart was in my throat half the time. And trying to watch the team approach to getting a bunch of strangers to work together, to commit to competing against other people they didn't even know or kind of knew. And I'll never forget that only one thing I have to ask, because literally I had to almost close my eyes, is that point when you guys were on those black boxes and you had to determine something at that point, and I don't want to go too far in it. All I need to know is, because I think episode 1 has already been done, right? So
Yeah, yeah.
we're past that. When they had to make the decision whether to stay or go, and as teams lost, it wasn't like one person lost, like teams got thrown out. And I was like mortified, right? But then when I found the first round, I think you were in it, is when they got thrown down the chute, when they got dropped. And I'm thinking in my head, no freaking way is that going to happen. Like, I would have totally said no to that, like, before the pre-qualifications. Oh my God, you have to tell me what the hell was going through your head, because I lost my lunch at that point. I was like, no way. I didn't even know how far down they went. All I know is that would have either been a bonus, or it would have, like, you would have been like having to change your underwear after it. Like, that's crazy. That's
So
just
like
crazy.
when I watched somebody fall for like the first time in front of me, like, oh, it's fast.
Yeah.
It's fast. And like it's so different, like thinking about it or going through it yourself, because you got to think about, it's not just jumping off a ledge. It's not like sitting on something and you get dropped. No. You're standing straight up and there is a trap door that opens and you just fall. Like, terrifying. And let me tell you, I was terrified of the idea of falling. Like, all the way up, like, oh my God, my legs were shaking, let me tell you.
Oh, I bet. And then the fact that your adrenaline is beyond recognition at that point, because you don't know if you're coming, going, or staying anyway, right? Because he's throwing punches in every aspect of everything he's doing. So, like, you guys have zero clue of what you're going to do. He tells you at that moment, and then you've got to react, which is crazy.
Really
And then
fast.
and then all of a sudden it's your turn, and I watched you because I looked for you specifically as I was going through the first couple episodes, and I found out you only stayed through one. But oh my God, when that door like literally shut out from under you, I don't even know what to ask you at this point. Like, no.
like okay, so like as soon as I knew that I was eliminated, and I knew that I sadly was not going to make it on to the city, which I really, really, really wanted to be at, basically, I had to prepare myself. Everyone around me is like, don't worry, it's fine, it's gonna be really quick, it's gonna be okay. But I was scared, okay? I was scared.
Yes.
I wanted to get over my fears, or at least one fear, so I'm glad that I did have to go through that in the show. That was very, very, very scary. But I will say, as soon as it happened, adrenaline, happiness, like just fun. Like, I'm at the bottom. Like, I fell down. So the chute, the thing goes down like 8-10 feet, somewhere around there, and then you fall into like foam blocks. Right? They show a lot of this cool stuff in the behind the scenes video. I highly recommend everybody to check out the behind the scenes videos. It really shows how cool it is. But yeah, so we literally fall, and within like 2.5 seconds, that was just my counting in my head, but that's probably entirely wrong. I was completely covered in foam. Okay? Fully at the bottom. There was like a crash pad at the bottom as well, besides also the protection from, all of the blocks, but the blocks covered my entire body from head to toe all the way down, and it was crazy because I'm just looking up at, like, because everything's black, like it's just like pitch black in there, and all you see is like the top, and I'm just like laughing and screaming like, that was awesome, whoa, like, because that was just so much more fun than I anticipated. But yeah, no, that was crazy.
That's amazing. That is amazing. So have you watched the episode so far? Has it been, like, as you obviously didn't get to go to the city, but for the episodes you have watched, is it what you expected? Without, well, we won't ruin it by any means. Even by the time this goes out, it might be over. But just from the perspective of what your expectations were, do you think that you would have done okay if you had made it? Do you think it would have freaked you out? Like, was it pretty intense?
It's hard. It's hard to know, really, because a lot of things are up to chance, a lot of things are up to strategy, a lot of things are up to the social game. There's so much that goes into each and every challenge. So I think I had the chance potentially to make it really far, but you never really know.
That's
Like,
true.
you never really know.
Totally.
But I will say watching it was awesome. I mean, I've seen episode 1 at least 20 times. Like going
Yeah,
frame for frame trying to see myself cuz like I play Where's Waldo with my hair. You could just see like everybody wearing blue and then you just one orange guy, you know?
totally. Well, and on top of that, you were on a billboard and you showed it to
Yeah.
me, and I thought that was so cool that you were in that billboard. That was awesome. What's the
That was
chance
so
that
cool.
that
They
would
put up
happen?
billboards of everybody, every contestant
Oh,
that made it
really?
on to episode 1 got to be on a billboard in
That's
LA, which
amazing.
was incredible.
That's amazing. Wow. So if you had to, we'll say, decipher going through that for the first time, what do you say was your greatest learning lesson in this experience as a content creator who got to meet with the ultimate content creator who created a production that is beyond anyone could even explain? What did you learn for you?
Dude, it's the production stuff, and there's so much that I don't even think I could even name everything because there's just so many things that I picked up just naturally being there, watching Jimmy and his process, watching him go over his lines and do retakes and reshoots of certain lines of of like the intros and whatever, watching the camera people, watching the people that were taking notes.
Wow.
Like, that's crazy. Like, I didn't even think, oh, yeah, that makes sense. Take notes with time codes of when things happen so that it's easier in editing. Because, like, they had 1,100 something cameras simultaneously recording in episode 1.
That's crazy. That's crazy. I can't even
Hours
really
of
fathom.
footage, each, like, person. Like, wow. Imagine
We
trying to decipher through all those lines, all those moments, and picking the best things. And so many things that I learned just by being a part of it that have made me think and get the wheels turning on how I can make my content even better.
I can't even wait. Like, I think you're gonna explode in a different level these next couple years because you've done so many things. And we also can't forget too that you interview everybody that you meet, and you always have a conversation with people. So you've met thousands of people. Like, you're not a content creator who's so
Yeah.
introverted. You are everywhere talking to everybody of every level of life.
I will say I feel bad when people come up to me at an event and they're like, "Hey man, do you remember me?" And then I like don't. It like kills me inside. But I legitimately talk to thousands of people every month. Like going to these events, talking to all these people. Like I talk to everybody. I'm friendly with everybody, but it is impossible to remember everybody's
Oh
name,
yeah,
face, and what company they work for and what their position is. It's just impossible. And
it
I'm
is.
so sorry to anybody if I forgot you. Just please remind me.
It's
Please.
I feel the same way. I mean, I've done 500 plus events over my lifetime and I've met people from around the world. And there are those moments where I have to be humble and say, okay, remind me where we met. And some people are just easy, and some people, because I haven't seen them enough, it's not that I forget them, it's just there's so much going on and they
Yeah.
don't keep in touch. And so I always try to humble myself to say, okay, I'm really sorry. Help
Yeah.
me remember back. And then I'll put the moment together. I'll be like, oh my gosh. And then we kind of just reconnect at that point, and then it starts over.
Oh
And it's
yeah.
kind
Oh
of like
yeah.
another round. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's what makes me excited is that there's some really great people out there that you cross paths with, and you don't realize how they impact your life and how you impact their lives. And I think that's why I started this podcast, was just I have met you and so many cool people that I want to share the stories. I want to be able to talk about the experiences that really just get thrown out, in the world of entertainment and life, because we're so worried about, like you said, it's a dollar figure, or it's something that is so short term in gratification instead of the long term of relationships and in life in general. And I think that's why I try to keep up with you if I can, because if I had the capability to be everywhere all the time, trust me, I'd be right there with you, because it's so much fun. I mean, living life to the fullest, there's nothing like it. And
Oh
I'm
yeah.
hoping this year I'll get to do a little bit more of that. I traveled like, I think, to India twice 2 years ago, and I had like 30 flights in a year, and I have never gone that much in my life, and I loved every minute of it. And then the next year I hardly did anything, and it was so weird to be like so full of life and then so like kind of like figuring it out. And I think that's what you do too, is like if you don't take advantage of something, it's not going to be there. It's all about what you want to do. Nobody's just going to throw it in your lap. But I will say, that with your experiences doing what you just did and with the events you go to and stuff, I think that you're gonna have to try to keep up with yourself because there's gonna be a lot of
Yeah.
people who are gonna be connecting with you as you move forward. So I'm gonna be your probably number 350th fan, but I'm still one of the beginners, you know. And I'm so stoked, dude. So futuristically speaking, what do you want to do? Like, what's 2025 hold for Mercanthony in your mind?
I want to make the best long form content I physically can. I've
Okay.
done, like I said, all of that live streaming, 4,500 hours. I've made 2,300 something TikToks. I've made over 1,000 long form videos. I have done so many different types of content. Like you said, I've done hundreds of interviews. I have done so many different types of content, formats, niches, whatever it is. And the thing that I have the most passion for is long form. I feel like it's going to last the longest amount of time. People can enjoy those videos for the longest amount of time. And I can go into more detail about everything that's going on, show more footage than just like a short video,
Right.
and have a very polished product that I can be proud of and have for the rest of time.
Totally. And so 23, so figure, let's see, you've got at least another couple years before life kind of kicks in, right? Like 25, they say. Guys just somehow at 25 just kind of decipher their journey, is what I'm being told. I haven't
Our
seen
brains stop developing around this time.
supposedly that's what I hear. So, you know, my boys are 22 and they've got a good another 3 years before that happens. So I'll wake you up when we get there so I can say I've been there, done that. But I mean, this year seems like it's just more of you getting out there and figuring out what topics, what conversations, and you know, I think your content is brilliant, and that you've never allowed people to destroy what you want to do. Like you don't let others thinking put you in a position where you say no. You just look at it, you listen to it, and then you just figure, here's what I need to know as a pro, and here's what I need to know as a con. Man, I think this year is going to be special for all of us. I just don't know yet what that means because we're only in January, but we have to come back to another conversation. Hopefully, maybe in the next 3 to 6 months, if you have the time, and talk about what you've been through since we talked today. And man, anything else you want to like leave with everybody? Where they can find you on? I know you're on 100 platforms, but where would you love to see more people following you?
I mean, hey, like I said, YouTube. YouTube is definitely
Okay.
my main thing, so check me out on YouTube. I'm Merc Anthony on every social. MERC Anthony, one word, not two. And not to be confused with Mark Anthony, that guy married J Lo. I'm not that guy.
Oh, good
Not
to
that
know.
guy.
Good to
But
know.
I'm open to continue talking. I'm not in a rush or anything. If you want to keep going, we can keep going.
We will. We will. We're going to close it now for time, but we got a lot to talk about. So
Oh, okay.
we got a lot to talk about. That's a whole different conversation. So for now, I'm going to close it up because God knows we could talk for 7 hours and everybody's gonna
Yeah,
be
yeah,
lost
for
by then.
sure.
So we'll close it up now. But I am grateful to you. Thank you for this time. This means so much to me, and more conversation coming.
Yeah, 100%. And I'll definitely be seeing you at more events.
Yes, sir. You have my word. I'm going to Nam next, so that's the next space, and then
I'm
God
still
only knows from
considering if
there.
I want to go to that, so maybe I'll be there.
Come on, meet me down there. I'll be there. We'll go see
Sounds
Roland and
good.
Yamaha. Let's go.
You know, and just a quick thing with Roland, it's crazy because my grandfather has a ton of Roland equipment and had a ton of Roland equipment. So he's up there looking down at me like, wow, that's so cool.
And you
Because
know
he
what?
used to have like a band and stuff, so it's really cool that we got the chance to work with them.
Totally. And by the way, we got to get Hip Hop Gamer to play too.
Oh, and Hip Hop Gamer, dude, it's crazy how I met Hip Hop Gamer through you and through that whole thing. Like,
Experience,
dude, because I listened to him as a kid on the radio on my way to school.
right? And
Bro,
he is
Hot
so cool.
97.
He's gonna come on. I got to get him on this too. Maybe I'll get the two of you on, and God help us all.
That'd be
That'll
a
be
crazy
fun.
episode.
Oh my gosh, that's gonna be one I'm gonna do. We'll call him. We'll call him, and we'll get him to do it for sure. So for
Well,
now, I'm gonna say it's been freaking awesome, dude. I am so proud of you, and we'll keep this rolling here in a few. But for now, you're my hero.
world domination one day at a time.
World domination for sure.
Merc out.
He needs to get his mom out.